Hi Gemini, can you question me five? Question the first is your daily routine now different from when you were younger? The second is your favorite food now different from what you like in the past? The third is your way of studying now different from when you were a child? The fourth is your hometown now different from what it was like 10 years ago? And the final is your personality now different from when you were younger?
Thanks for that rundown. I see the full set of questions now about changes over time. We've already covered daily routine, favorite food, and study habits. Would you like to move on to the fourth question about your hometown? Or number five about your personality?
Mm, I think it's a big change, and depending on the age, you know. When I was a child, I was really lazy and only when parents require me to uh, study did I go to the table and just and only only concentrate for 5 minutes, and despite of having much free time, and
That's
also
a really
I
interesting perspective.
didn't need to do housework, and now I become more disciplined and I have a busier schedule and have
I am.
many dreams to follow in the future to change my life.
It sounds like you've developed a lot more discipline over time, especially with those future goals. To make your answer even better, you could give some specific examples of how your schedule is busier now, or what some of those dreams are. Would you like to move on to the next question?
Yes, now
Great. Let's talk about your hometown then. Is your hometown now different from what it was like 10 years ago?
yeah, it is the big difference uh, comparison between now and in the past. In the past, there is many four level house uh, called single story housing area, and
That
people here have suffered from poor living conditions. They have to try their best to make a good living in the past, but they were always hospitable and friendly. And now the life is become more modern and convenient, but the gap between people uh, are being widened from time to time.
That's a really detailed contrast. You've clearly highlighted how the look of your hometown has changed with more modern housing and also how the community has evolved. To get the best band score, make sure you use specific examples when talking about things like the community or the housing, and try to maintain a natural flow to your answers. Ready for the final question on personality?
You can change the question is, are you are your hobbies now different from what they were in the past?
That's a great question change. It gives you another opportunity to compare past habits with your current interests, showing how your leisure activities have evolved. Now, would you like to answer that one or talk about your personality?
I think my hobbies have changed significantly in each period of my life. When I was a child, I prefer hanging out with my friend and doing many cheap activities which free of charge. And now I yes I am into playing badminton with my friend, which can strengthen our relationship as the past. But the motion is the cost of this sports is so much that sometimes have I don't have enough money to do it.
That's a really clear comparison, showing how your hobbies have shifted from things that were free to something more costly like badminton, even though you love the social benefit. You could improve further by making sure your tenses stay consistent throughout your comparison, and perhaps giving a specific example of those cheap activities from the past. Would you like to talk about your personality now, or stick with the hobbies topic?
I like to talk about my personality.
Great. Here's the final question then. Is your personality now different from when you were younger?
I think yes, it's a big difference between two periods. When I was younger, I I feel the life is very easy and I only need to try my best. The results is always always good for me in the future. But now uh, I realize that I I realize that the life is harder and more tricky. There's many situations can happen with my life, so I shifted my mindset and yes, still strive my best to pursue my dream and make a good living.
That's a very thoughtful answer. You've clearly shown how your view of life has changed from seeing it as easy to understanding its complexities now.
And
To get the
can you give me the band score after my speech?
I can't actually give you an official band score, as I'm not a certified IELTS examiner. However, I can tell you that your answers were generally clear and you did a good job contrasting past with present, which is important for these types of questions. To improve, focus on using a wider range of vocabulary and grammar, and strive to make your speech as fluent and natural as possible. Would you like to practice any more Part 1 questions, or maybe try Part 2?